Hey, good morning. Thank you all for coming out this morning. Listen, I just want to tell you quickly what I've done since I've been in Washington, let you know what this race is about, because it's all about our records. You know, just the 2 years that I've been in Washington, I've been able to have two pieces of legislation passed and signed into law by two presidents, two different parties. The Trank Act, well, it's been responsible for helping remove these dangerous synthetic opioids that have been infiltrating our state. And in turn has been helping the healthcare facilities out there across our state, just like this one behind me. The second was that Lake and Riley Act, which I wrote, passed it, and it has led to the removal of over 20,000 illegal criminal immigrants from our streets. But even then, y'all, I haven't stopped working. I mean, you know, I've got the Permit Act out there right now. And the Permit Act is going to speed up. It's going to make it easier, more affordable for Georgians to buy homes and for businesses, not just across this state, but across this country. And that's what I say when I say that results matter and records matter, record of results. And as my plan as your next U.S. Senator, it's to use my business experience to build on that record and make life more affordable, more safe, and more prosperous for every Georgian. And a part of that means making health care more accessible and more affordable to every person in our state. We got $218 million delivered for rural hospitals across the state, and in the Senate, I will push to double that amount to help bring even more support to our rural hospitals and make health care more accessible across our state. It's no secret that our health care system in this country must be improved. And in Congress, I helped deliver over $200 million in funding for our rural hospitals. And we have the right to know, y'all. We have the right to know what our health care costs and the record of quality that's being served. Because nothing hides a bad system like keeping people in the dark. First, we need to create more price transparency within our health care system. Georgians shopping for coverage or procedures should know exactly what it costs without hidden fees to help make sure that they have the best informed decisions about their health care and their plans for the future. Second, we must lower drug prescription costs out there by adopting the most favored nation's price policy and continuing the success of the Trump RX, and ensuring that every American is paying the lowest possible price for their medication. If another country is getting the same drug for cheaper, Americans should get it at the same price, period. Third, we should continue expanding the health savings accounts, incentivize people to take advantage of tax deductions and the savings that comes with that. I mean, by increasing the contribution limits and expanding eligibility, more Georgians can plan for their health care and cost, and that just gives them a peace of mind. Finally, we should continue supporting growing Georgia's families through the Child Tax Credit and the Child and Dependent Care Tax Credit. I was proud to help deliver an increase up to $2,200 for this credit, and in the Senate, I'll continue to push for this increase so that families have more support and a head start as they grow. These are business solutions, and that's the exact type of experience, mindset, and record that I have had in the private sector as well as in Congress. That's just delivering real results on health care in our state in just 2 short years in Congress. But unfortunately, John Ossoff has done the complete opposite. John Ossoff voted to cut $218 million from rural hospitals in our state. John Ossoff voted against expanding the child tax credit. John Ossoff voted against making health care more affordable and accessible in our state. And it's because he's never had a real job in his life. Now, he's a trust fund kid who has no concept of how expensive or difficult health care has gotten because he's never had to deal with it like we have in the private sector. And that's the difference in this race. An out-of-touch, elite trust fund kid who has never had a job, has never gotten anything done in Washington, and when he has bothered to vote, he's been a disaster for our state. Georgians deserve a businessman with a record of success both in the private sector and the public sector. Someone who will shake up the status quo, get things done, and deliver better outcomes in our health care, our economy, and our quality of life. That's why I'm running. That's what I'm focused on, and that's why we're going to win in November. Thank you. And I'll take a few questions.
A lot of the people who can't afford health care are folks who also are too broke to take advantage of tax incentives to buy health care. Are those folks being overlooked?
No, sir. And if you're talking about people on Medicaid, I assume that's who you're talking about. What we're doing is cleaning out the waste, fraud, and abuse there, and making sure that people on that system, on Medicaid, are actually eligible for that, so that they have that, and we're making sure that that it is sustained, and we're doing that simply just by cleaning out waste, fraud, and abuse, making sure that there is transparency, getting lower drug costs out there, so that health care can be affordable and more affordable for them. Hang on just a second. I had yes, sir. Hey, Doug.
Just a question about some reporting that came out recently about your son-in-law, David Allen Shear, Jr., about consistently posting online things that echo white nationalist sentiments, some anti-Semitic sentiments as well. People are speculating whether he's might have ties to your business or your campaign or done work for either of those entities. And do you want to today comment on some of the things he said in those videos to use his death earlier?
You know, we've fully addressed that, but John Ossoff refuses to disavow these Democrat socialist movements in our country. As a matter of fact, he embraces that. You know, John Ossoff should answer for voting for men being in women's locker rooms. John Ossoff should answer. John Ossoff should answer why he voted for this massive spending bill out there that has jump-started inflation and caused prices to go up on the average Georgians out there. John Ossoff should answer for why he supported ending cash bail, why he supported the open borders, why he supported these radical anti-Israel extremists. These aren't Georgia values, y'all. That's what he needs to answer for. And the people will choose to get rid of him in November. So,
could you address his question, please, sir?
Yes, ma'am. I'll give that young lady right there, if she has a question. One last question. Listen, thank you. I appreciate y'all's time. I appreciate your coming out this morning. Thank you very much.